What is going up, fam? Going on, fam? I know I haven't been on in a long time. Just been busy with work and so many other things. And for those my brothers and sisters in Christ, I have not stopped looking for the Lord to come. And so I've just been taking time enjoying family outside of work and enjoying some things that I like doing, like playing a few games here and there. So if this is not your cup of tea, I understand, and I apologize. I just wanted to kind of get back to occupy the time, doing what I love to do a little bit while still watching. So this is more geared toward my gamer fan base. So as you guys may have known or may not have known, the handheld PC market is really taking off. Starting the GPD win, of course, started this. Well, actually, they didn't start it, but they kind of pioneered it a little bit in a way. So, and then last year, well, actually, since it's 2022, I'll say a little under 2 years ago, INEO was founded, and they had an Indiegogo campaign that people had a chance to support, and a lot of people received prototype units, some with a clear shell for a device like this, and some triggers and things like that that weren't analog. And then revisions got made to the triggers, and which are now analog. In other words, analog means that they're not just going to be one press and that's it, as far as like throttle for a racing game. And so you'll be able to really have more control over the throttle. It's not just all gas or nothing. Let me see if I can focus this in a little bit. There we go. As you can see, it's it's actually, the actuation of it's pretty nice. They just came out with a new one as well, called the INEO Next. That's pretty nice. So I'm just going to give you guys what I think of this this INEO. This is not the INEO Pro 2021. This is the INEO that has the Ryzen 5 4500U, which for me has been plenty enough to play all of the emulation games that I love, and all of the AAA PC Steam games that I love as well. So I did an unboxing video, which should be, I'm gonna either put it right after this, or I may just make that a separate video. I'm not sure yet. So I'm a little bit random this week, so you'll have to pardon the disorganization. But here's a little tour around the INEO. So it's fairly large handheld. So on the left here, you see we've got left analog trigger, left analog stick, and it does press in to make it like an L3 button, for PlayStation, Xbox games, things of that nature, which is really cool. There's actually an Xbox 360 controller built into this, so it's going to be fully compatible with any game that uses X input. So makes it really, really great for getting back in touch with those old Xbox games, or most any system, to be honest with you. And here you got the D-pad. People have said that they didn't really care for this D-pad a whole lot, but I kind of like it. It's kind of clicky, solid. You can still push it all in at the same time, and it kind of rocks back and forth a little bit. I like it. It's comfortable. Some D-pads are really sharp at the edges, and when you're pressing them with your thumb for a while, you're playing a fighting game that uses those controls for a D-pad, it can get uncomfortable. This, I haven't had any issues. It kind of tapers off a little bit and smooths out at the edges. Really, really nice D-pad. And we've got an instrument cluster here. This is a Windows key. The menu key, like from your Xbox controller. And then here's the hamburger menu button here. And then you've got this button here that brings up your Xbox game bar. And if you don't want to leave it up there, you can just press it again and it'll close it. But here you can see your CPU usage, GPU usage, VRAM, system RAM, even FPS. If while you're playing a game, you can view it there. And you've also got screenshot and recording options and microphone. For this, I don't believe it has a built-in mic. So if you have a microphone that you can plug in, I would recommend that, and then you'll have access to be able to record game clips here, and then save them. And the means of hooking the mic up would be via the two USB Type-C ports up here at the top, and you also have a headphone jack at the top, right next to the volume up and down buttons and your power button to the far left. And they have provided in the box USB dongles. I know people don't like the dongles, and they might lose them or what have you. I typically don't mind it as long as they, I think it was a good thought for them to put them in the box, because there may be some people who don't want to use the USB Type A. And again, most of us probably would have preferred a USB Type A port somewhere up here, but it's not the end of the world. And then we'll go ahead and close this. Now, as you noticed, as soon as I booted this up, it booted me right into a program called ISpace. ISpace is like a hub software, sort of, kind of. And as you see, it's 11 games that it's picked up. It'll scan your hard drive for games from your Steam library, Windows games, things like that. So we'll go ahead and tap on it. And as you can see, it's found these games. I'm going to load more. Right now, I've just got these on here, and I've also got a lot of emulators. And then you've got your assistant over here, and this shows you your RAM that's being used, and then processor. Basically the same thing that the Microsoft Xbox game bar picked up. And you've got your system information here, pretty cool. And there's some there's other software that you can utilize here that's on your system. It'll show you all the software you've got installed on your Neo. And here you've got where you can configure your iNeo. The front side shows things that can be configured, like you can recalibrate your joysticks here, change your vibration intensity. I've got mine on strong right now. I don't mind it at all. And then over here, you can't really configure the face buttons. It's not necessary anyway. They're pretty nice. And then you can always change to the back. And then you can customize your TDP or change it to the stock options they have. So if I tap on that, you can either put it on game, which is 20 watts, balanced, which is 15 watts, power saving, which is 11. They had a setting of 5 watts, but I went ahead and added this setting of 25 watts, just because I, want to use that sometimes. 5 watts is okay, but most of the games and things that I play usually do better around 11 or 15 watts anyway, so I didn't feel the need to keep the 5 watt setting there. But you can if you want. And so we'll go back, and there's a lot of other widgets you can add over here, and they have a screenshot book for any screenshots that you've taken. Really nice piece of software, and they have updated it. I don't think I downloaded the latest update, but when you go into this software, you can always check to see if your software is up to date, and if it's not, it'll download the update for you, and you'll get I think it's an email that has some type of verification or something like that, and then you just proceed with that, and then you can go ahead and and download the update. At least that's what it did for me. So by getting, when you get out of ISpace, you just clicked this button here. This acts as a keyboard button, but when you have ISpace running, you can actually use this to close ISpace. And as you see, it's minimized in the system tray here. And let me close this. I got my Epic's Game Store that was up. So this is the Windows button here. You click that and it gets you to your Windows Start menu. And you push it again to get rid of it. This TM, that's pretty self-explanatory, Task Manager. I'll go ahead and close that. And then this escape button, if you're in a program or a game and you just want to back out of it, hitting this escape button just exits right out of it, out of the game. Like for example, I'll show you in a little while, PS2 emulators or anything like that, hitting this button, it'll just close the game down. And some games, if you are running ISpace in the background and you want to change your TDP or something like that, a lot of people said that ISpace would not come up. Most of the time it will, but you just have to push and hold this button instead of just pressing it, just long press it. Right now I'm not in a game, so I can just press it like that. But if you're in a game and you press it once and it doesn't come up, push and hold it, long press it, and then it'll force ISpace to come up. I haven't seen anybody mention that, so I wanted to share that. And that is pretty much it. And as you can see, they have a dock for it, but the fact that I can sit this up and stand it up like this on a flat surface and it not move is really awesome. So if you don't want to purchase the Aya Neo dock and you have a stable flat surface that you can just put this on, hook up a controller if you wanted to, play it that way, you can certainly do that. Or if you just wanted to, if you're waiting on something to download and you just want to, you know, just get it out of your lap, you can certainly just put it on a surface like this and it will be just fine. You'll want to have something to sit this up on if you're just going to have to lay it down, for two reasons. The two reasons are this at the top, this air vent, this will push heat out of the top, but also this vent on the back. If you lay this down on something, all that it's going to be doing is retaining that hot air and pushing it back through the system, and it's going to get super, super hot. So you really don't want to lay it down because you'll be suffocating the system. And I'm really impressed with the screen. I know people wanted to see OLED, an OLED screen. That could be coming soon. I don't know. It didn't come out with this latest Aya Neo Next presentation. But for what it is, I think the screen is great. It's nice, crisp, and clear. It's about, I think, 500 nits of brightness at max brightness. Really bright screen, and you can also dim it. What I love about this screen is I can dim it, but it doesn't seem to really lose clarity. Some screens that you use, the lower you go on the brightness, everything starts to kind of look muddy and things like that. So I think the screen is great for what it is. For the price, would I have appreciated more an OLED screen? Absolutely. And here, within ISpace, I meant to tell you this, you can tap on, if you have this in side panel mode, just like this, all you have to do is tap on this and it'll expand your frequencies. For whatever reason, MSI Afterburner has not been functioning properly for me. I know how to set it up. I've been using MSI Afterburner for a long time, but maybe it's just something going on. I'll tinker with it, but until I do, this will allow me to view readings, to see where my frequencies are at. The way that these APUs work is they're going to share power, the CPU and GPU. So if you have the CPU set to high wattage, and you overclock the GPU too, you may have performance issues because they're going to be fighting for power, so to speak. So what you ideally want to do is kind of adjust the CPU wattage, and then kind of tinker with the GPU to see where your sweet spot is. There's a few great YouTube channels out that show you really how to optimize your INEO and get the best out of it without burning through your battery life. As you can see right now, I've got mine set to 20 watts. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on power saving, just because I don't want anything to happen while I'm making this video. I'm sure it won't at 94%, but it was at 100% when I turned this on. So that just goes to show you, the higher the wattage you have, the more you're gonna burn through your battery. And it also depends on what you're doing on your system. So one thing I really wanted to just kind of bring home is, yes, the INEO is an expensive device, but this is not going to be for everyone. And I know I'm regurgitating at this point the same thing a lot of YouTubers have already said, but it really isn't. This is not for the person that's looking for a Nintendo Switch type experience as far as battery life, because you're not going to get that kind of experience with it. It's more for people that are, I don't want to use the word hardcore PC gamers, but that seem to be a lot of the market for something like this, because you want the most bang for your buck, but portably. And I think this gets the job done. For me, I know people also have mentioned, about the TDP settings, where if you have it jacked up to say 20 or 35 or even 45 watts, you really need to be docked in. And some people say that if you're going to do that, you might as well buy a laptop. I don't fully agree with that, and here's why. I own a high-end gaming laptop. It's an Omen laptop, the 17-inch model, so the big boy. And I also own a Nintendo Switch, and now this. I can tell you that having a huge laptop such as the HP Omen that can get a little heavy sitting on your lap if you're wanting to relax and lay back on your couch and play a AAA title, that thing is going to get heavy. And then added to that, I'm sure anyone who's got good sense is going to have a cooling pad to sit the laptop on. That it doesn't seem to add that much weight, but it feels like it does. And so I can't really sit there comfortably for an hour on my couch playing that for too long. And then you've got to get your controller and all of this stuff. And the maneuverability is not good when you're doing something like that. So for someone like me that's had a hard day at work, I just want to get off. I want to, unplug my Neo from the charger, because I usually just play it sometimes in the evening and I charge it overnight. Just want to pull it out, flop on the couch, cross my legs, and just chill out. And this allows me the ergonomics to really sit on the couch, lay back, and enjoy a portable device like this in my hands, without any uncomfortability. And I can turn, I can lay flat, I can do whatever I want, and don't have to worry about anything heavy resting on my lap while I'm trying to relax. So for me, that alone was worth the price of getting something like this. Just like anything else has a convenience price, so does something like this. Also, given the fact that INEO is not a huge company like Valve for the Steam Deck, or even a company like Nintendo, those guys have really deep pockets and can afford to mass produce and get incentives and cuts of licensing deals and stuff like that. INEO is a newer company, so it's going to cost them more to make a device like this and mass produce it. And so that puts this in a different category. So to me, I think that that it's worth it, in my opinion, to get something like this. It may not be worth it to you as a viewer to get this, but it made sense for me. And I've been looking for something like this for a long time to come out, and it hadn't. The GPD win was great from the videos I saw, but the screen just wasn't big enough. I think it has a 5.5 inch screen, and that's just not gonna get it for me. And I've also got big hands, as you guys can see, so I needed something with some chunkier sides, whereas the GPD Win 3 has the thinner sides to it, and just I wouldn't have been very happy with it. I could have used it, but I wouldn't have been very happy, and my fingers would start cramping because you have to kind of, you know, adjust your grip like this. Whereas this, I can pick this up and it rests comfortably, really comfortably in my hand like this. So I really enjoy this product. I think for me, the key word that I want to use is flexibility. So flexibility in the sense that you can really kind of play how you want with this. You can either dock it if you want to get the dock, stand it up, get another controller, play with that. Or you can hold it in your hand, play it like this. You can use low wattage settings if you want to conserve battery and run something at 30 frames per second as opposed to 60 or above. You could jack the wattage up and get way more performance out of it at the cost of battery life. You can also play it plugged in if you wanted to, if you're on the couch or wherever you're at. And nobody can really tell you the best way to use your Neo as far as what you have to or can't do with it. Now, that's not to discredit or discount any of the channels that are trying to help people get the most bang for their buck as far as battery life versus performance, meeting somewhere in the middle. So don't take what I just said as a shot against any of them. Like Taki, the Fox, ETA Prime, those guys, I'm just saying that the flexibility is there to use your Neo in the best way that works for you. And you could jack the brightness up if you want to, along with having higher wattage, or you could conserve your battery and have a dimly lit screen if you wanted. So it's just one of those things where flexibility of being able to use it the way that it suits you is there. You can even wipe this Windows off and put Linux on here or something else. So I think for what it is a niche product, and it's going to set you back some coin if you decide to pick one of these up or one of the newer ones. But it's awesome. And there hasn't been anything that I have thrown at this that it can't handle. Emulation. Now, I have not gotten RPCS3 up running to test out some of the games I have for that. But I'll do that soon, and I'll be uploading some video content, some screen recordings of some gameplay. Not kind of in front of it like this, but just some, just capturing the screen. And I'm actually going to try to download Adobe Photoshop on here. I've got Adobe Photoshop Pro license, and I use it on my, not Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, apologize. I'm gonna load that on here and see how that does at video rendering. I would imagine that it's gonna do pretty well, especially with this 4500U APU inside of it and the 16 gigs of RAM inside. But I really have enjoyed this product. I've got mine December 15th. And ever since then, I've just been, every day, I haven't even picked my Switch up, except to check the eShop sales that they had, picked up a couple titles from there. But that's just so I'll have them at the price that they were. But for the most part, it's just been this. So I really am just thrilled with what iNeo has done. And what they've done with the new the Neo Next. And the only thing I just, for me, and this is an aesthetics thing, think I like the design of this Neo better. Granted, I don't have a review unit of the new one, the iNeo Next to compare this to, but just from a looks perspective, this has more of a chunky, little bit more aggressive gamer type of look to it, if you ask me. And added to the fact that they removed one of the USB type C ports on the iNeo Next. And I think that they could have kept that on. There was enough room for it. Or if they were going to take that off, there's enough room on the top of the Next to slap a USB type A there. I don't know. I just think that they could have left the two ports up at the top, because if you want to, and you can also charge from the top, from up here. I think one of them. But if you wanted to have two things up here, you're stuck because you can't. Let's say you're somewhere where you don't have Wi-Fi and you've got a Wi-Fi dongle, but you also have a hard drive that you're going to be running a game from. With the new one, you're limited because there's only one connection at the top. So that's something to think about. But enough of my mouth. I appreciate you guys hanging in there. As you can also see, when iSpace is running, you can use your mouse cursor. There are ways to get this running without having iSpace running, I believe. But it's one of the YouTube channels I'll link below will should be able to help you out. But I'm going to go ahead and start with some emulation. We're going to do PCSX2. Sorry about that. And I've seen a lot of requests for Gran Turismo 4. So that's what I'm going to start with. All right, here we go. Gran Turismo 4. And this game likes 15 to 20 watts, so I'm going to put it at, I'll go ahead and put it up at 20, just so we don't have any hiccups. But it can play great at 15 watts. So we'll close that. We'll go ahead and start the game up. Let me turn the brightness settings up for you guys too, so you can see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and boot. I like to do the fast boot. As you can see, it's booting up. And what I like to do, I don't like to just leave it at the default resolution. What I like to do is go into the options. And I've seen a lot of people forget about doing this with, and not just for the iNeo videos, I mean emulation period. A lot of people forget that you can go in here into the screen settings menu and change it to progressive 480p or HDTV at 1080i. 1080i is a little overkill for a screen like this. Progressive really sharpens everything up significantly. And it also is a better way to get some better visuals without having to crank your PCSX2 resolution scale up. And so we'll go ahead, go into arcade mode. I'm going to do a little time trial. I'm going to do Trial Mountain. I'm going to choose this Subaru. As you can see, nice and smooth with the menu. I'll keep this color. Put some super soft tires on her. As you can see, it's nice. It's running at 60 frames. I don't have the frame counter on because, again, MSI wasn't behaving for me. And you can hear the vibration. Sorry about that. As you can see, it's running really, really smooth here. I'm a lot better than this, guys, I promise. It's just that I'm kind of playing at a different angle, a little bit of an odd angle. But as you guys can see, I mean, excellent performance out of this. No hiccups. Gotta hit this just right so I can go ahead and cruise through this tunnel. This is one of my favorite parts of this track. I love this tunnel. The team just did something great with this game, and it still holds up well to this day. Love it. So, yep, so I crashed, but I just wanted to show you that, and then, just like I mentioned before, you hit the escape button, and it closes the game. Let's see, what else can I try for you? I think, let's see, Soul Calibur 3, and these are running at 2x resolution. I can raise it to 3, but again, for this type of screen, 2x looks absolutely amazing, and it doesn't require it doesn't require you to up your TDP a lot. Especially something like this can really run at 15 watts. So we're gonna do a little Soul Calibur 3, and there is a way to get rid of these vertical black bars. So what I actually need to do, I'm gonna hit the Windows key. I'm gonna go into my settings, gonna configure video, and there is an advanced menu here, enable hardware hacks, and we're gonna do the merge sprite, and then boom, vertical bars are gone. We're gonna go ahead and do quick play. All right. This is my guy right here with these nunchucks. Absolutely wonderful. Now, when you run this merge sprite hardware hack, it may cut down the speed just a little bit, because it's doing some extra stuff to make it display the right way. Still not bad though, but there's other things you can do to really smoothen it out some. I didn't really want to go through that too much in this video, but and as you see, that was quick and easy. We'll go ahead and close out of that, and go ahead and go into this one. Let's see. Black is a game that's extremely intensive and will not play very well on PCSX2. It's not that the Ioneo doesn't have the power to play it, but it's really not optimized for the emulator yet. I haven't tried that game on my my Omen laptop yet, but it's not going to run great on the Neo. And I've got NBA Live 2005. So some of these I'm going to save for my dedicated video content. So I won't bother with a lot of that yet. And we got some Dreamcast emulation. Go right in here. I like to save these on my taskbar so that I don't have to scroll to open them up. It just works better for me. Oops. What did I just do? Okay. So we're gonna go, I had Shenmue playing. I'm gonna go ahead and go, we're gonna start with a hard to emulate Dreamcast game. And I say hard to emulate by, When I say that, I mean lower end devices aren't gonna do that well. I was previously trying to emulate games on my Fire HD tablet. You guys can just imagine how that probably went. And this was the 2018 generation. Not a good experience. It was a slideshow. No matter what I did, it was just like a 20 FPS muddy slow motion fest. And so getting something like this, able to play this, one of my favorite retro games at full speed. I'm gonna hit start, as you can see. Starts right up. And the sound reproduction is great. The first batch of Neos had speakers that were really not that great, but they changed the speakers for the 2021 revision and forward, so the speakers are a whole lot better. I'm not going to bore you guys with playing it. I just wanted to let you guys see how smooth it runs. Flawless performance. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of that. And got some other games on here, like the original Soul Calibur, the OG Soul Calibur. Love that game. So, and now to exit this, it's a little bit funky trying to close it with just the mouse cursor. So I just have to long press it on the taskbar. Got a little bit of PSP here too. And I'm running Vulkan, as you saw. Got a few games here. And got SmackDown versus Raw 2011, NBA Live 2006 and 2009, Dirt 2, Tekken 6. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into that. This was another game that I almost kind of got running on my Fire tablet, but it wasn't a really good experience. I'm gonna just do a quick arcade battle. Don't y'all laugh now, because I might get my tail whipped. All right, you can laugh. I'd laugh too. Yep, that was easy. I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of that. And with the PPSSPP, this has way more power than you really need for these, and that'll allow you to go in and really play with a lot of the filters that you can apply to your games to give them a different look, like FXAA anti-aliasing, video smoothing, natural colors, super sampling. You can do all of that with these games without any issues because of how powerful this device is. We'll go into a little God of War. And like having this run off of the SSD, as you can see, like the load times are super fast. I just clicked it and it was ready to go. And just like my laptop, you know, you tap you turn it on, in like 3 seconds, you're ready to load into your operating system. So we're gonna load the game in. Gonna enter, load completed, back. This runs like a dream. Gonna go ahead and take the opportunity to save. Yes, we're gonna, whoops. Yeah, I won't really need to. And I've got this upscaled, I think 3x. And as you can see, there's absolutely no problems. I know what I need to do with this level, but I'm just using, I'm not really trying to get involved with it yet. I'm just showing you guys how it is. And then I'll come back and finish this later. Well, no, let me go ahead and do it. And the clickiness of the buttons is awesome. And as you can see, it's absolutely no issues, no hiccups, nothing. No issues at all running this game at full speed, upscaled. This would have never run properly on my Fire HD tablet, and I could easily have run it on my gaming laptop, but I wanted a portable experience. So we'll go ahead and close that out. Go ahead and exit. And then we'll also go ahead and just exit out of here. Yeah, so I didn't want to make this video too terribly long. And again, a lot of the other gameplay videos will be coming, just not in a video format like this. They're going to be in a screen recording format with some editing, light editing done, but mostly to show off the gameplay. So, so really the long and short of it is, this does what I need it to do and then some. Would I recommend the average user go out and plunk down $1,100, $1,200, $1,300, even $1,500 in some places, depending on where you buy it? Would I recommend you buy it? Yes and no. Yes, if you're the type of gamer who has the money to burn on it, and who doesn't mind a device that's a little bit heavier than something like a Nintendo Switch, and who's understanding that this is a full-fledged handheld gaming PC, and you're okay with 2.5 hours of battery life, depending on what you're doing, and you're also willing to make the adjustments to game if you want to play a AAA game at a higher frame rate and bump the settings up a little bit. If you're the type of gamer who pre-ordered a Steam Deck and you're tired of waiting, you got places to go, people to see, games to play on the go, and you want a better experience with those games, whether they be emulation or AAA titles from Steam or your Epics or Origin or Xbox Game Pass on the go, and not have to wait till at least Q2 minimum of this year, absolutely, I'd pick this up. Now, if you're the type of gamer who really needs to have that long-term battery life, you kind of have some money set aside, but you could probably use it for other things that you might need or want even more than this, and you'd have buyer's remorse of having spent that much at one time. I would not get it if you're one of those types. You want to feel completely satisfied about a gadget or device that you buy, and I honestly feel 110% satisfied. Yes, I know the iNeo Pro 2021 has an upgraded processor. Yes, I know that the iNeo Next just came out with another upgraded processor. Yes, I know there's probably going to be another device coming out. And yes, I do understand that the Steam Deck is coming out as well. But do I regret picking up this purchase? Absolutely not. And I'm going to continue to use it until I either decide to sell this and buy an upgraded version of it, hopefully when they come out with the 6000 series of processors, by the way, or I decide that I want to get something different. Maybe this will maybe this won't suit my needs a year and a half, 2 years from now. I don't know. But for me, I can't see that happening because when it comes down to emulation, this does everything I need it to do that the Switch can't, or the Switch Lite that I have can't. So I really don't see any need to part with it. And I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. That's for sure. I also love this star, this dark star color. It just looks so bad to me. I love it. The white one looked clean and everything like that, but something about black devices like this, in the profile of it, it just has an aggressive look to it. I love it. So that is my short but long review of the Neo 2021 with the AMD Ryzen 5 4500U processor. I think it's great. I'm happy I made the purchase, and that's about it. So if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe, hit the subscribe button, like this video. You can share this video with someone who hasn't seen this device yet, and just seeing a video that's a little bit different than the others that are out there. I could have just made a video just saying the same stuff, but who wants to see that? You guys have probably seen those videos a million times. But just something where I could be myself and say things a little bit different. So I look forward to having you part of the Chart Channel family if you haven't subscribed. And if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. Share your feedback. Do you like this over the Neo Next? Or do you think this is outdated? And that's another thing, one more thing. I've seen a lot of people say that this device or even the 4800U device are out or obsolete. The word obsolete is being thrown around a little too loosely. Obsolete, in my mind, means this device has no use just because there's a newer device out. I don't think that's accurate. This device is still far more capable than a Switch is at playing all the games that I love, as well as doing other multimedia tasks. I mean, it's a handheld gaming PC. So do I feel that I could have waited a little longer to see about getting the 6000? Yes, I do think they might have been able to, but that does not make this or the Neo Pro obsolete whatsoever. It's just that people were expecting the latest and greatest, especially when you're paying this kind of price. So that's my rant. I'll get off my soapbox a little bit, but you guys have a great night. More gameplay footage, content coming up for this device, and I look forward to interacting with everybody in the comment section. Let me know who you are. Let me know if you've got one of these, or if you plan on getting one of these, or if you want to wait for this Steam Deck, which is a lot cheaper. So yeah, you guys take care. Have a great weekend. Everybody be safe out there, and we'll chat next time.